Let's go. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's been unfortunately, I think 2 weeks now that we kind of missed on my behalf, if you will.
A little bit of time has passed, but the season has not yet started, so we got a whole future in front of us here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly, man. So, welcome Raider Nation and anybody else that's here to come kick it with Turf and Pigs, man. This is it's an exciting time depending on how you look at it, and it's also a very typical time. You know, we're all begging for football at this point, so we're nitpicking, right? We're finding any and everything that we can possibly think of in terms of content and things to discuss and talk about. So, but I think we got more than enough. I think we got plenty. And I can't wait to dive into it, man. So how have you been, bro? It's been 2 weeks, man. I missed our show, man.
Yeah, I missed you, Turf. Definitely get back in the run of it leading into the season so we can get our 2 cents out there for players to pick up on.
Right. And, hey, for the first time, I think both of us are on the wagon.
Yeah.
They're not our sponsor yet, but, yeah, Coke is in this one.
Right on.
Yeah, we don't have any bourbon today. But, yeah, man, let's just jump right on into it. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I see that and I knew it. For whatever reason, my dock isn't working for. Let me check really quick. CJ, no, it should be working. I wonder why it's not working.
Is this a TikTok related thing or?
Yeah, TikTok. Everything's on it though, and it's not picking up. But we'll figure it out.
Maybe the time change, perhaps?
It's possible that could have done it. Let me see if this helps. This will let me know what it is. Oh yeah, I definitely got something missing in terms of what we're using. I bet I know what it is. No, this is accurate too. I don't know. Well, unfortunately, we will not be able to put anything up on the screen in terms of messages and people, but we can see. I can definitely see, and we already got a full house, if you will, man. So, you know, I'll do what we normally do here, and that's shout a few people out, man. So first and foremost, shout out to my main man, Sack Tom. Appreciate you for coming through, my dude. Hope you enjoy the show. I will be getting that wrench back to you as soon as I can figure out what the heck is going on with anything right now. So don't worry about that. We'll get that back cracking. We got Nav Man in the building. Appreciate you for coming through, Nav Man. Hope you guys enjoy the show, man. We got Jimbo on TikTok, man. Jimbo is my dude. Jimbo been supporting for a long time, man. Appreciate you for coming through. We got Van Chris, and we got another Raider. Well, Windy City, that's right. Windy City Raiders. Shout out to Windy City. We'll get this up worked out, man. Hopefully I can figure out what's going on with the chat as far as me getting it on the screen. But anywho, let's jump right into it, man. You've had some time to look at some Raider stuff, but one of the things that we discussed briefly throughout the day was Mr. Mad Max Crosby. And he having our beloved new quarterback. Shout out to Fernando Vargas. Yeah, so what was your thoughts about that, man? Talk to us.
Yeah, well, I think it was pretty much expected that Fernando would make it onto the podcast. I believe Max had our previous quarterbacks on his podcast as well. Maybe not our first quarterback, Garoppolo, but definitely Gardner and Gino made their way on there. And so it seems like a bit of a tradition being fulfilled here. And I think Fernando did well enough. Like he's kind of said a lot of the same things he's already said, reiterating stuff and just kind of ensuring that his message is consistent. But yeah, it was entertaining. I kind of wish it was more just Max and Fernando one-on-one raw talk, but inevitably there's a brand and there's kind of the necessary stuff that's got to happen to make it all work.
You are absolutely correct, man. And that's the one thing that we all should at least know and understand. These guys, and you know, I'm stealing your words with this one, but they are super media trained, right? They're not going to allow any of the nonsense, specifically from the number one guy, their soon-to-be flagship, which is Mr. Fernando. So yeah, I mean, pretty typical. Nothing, you know.
Yeah, the whole media training angle. I guess it's a fine line, because even if guys are saying the right things like they have in years past, i.e. Gardner, Gino, Jimmy, like a lot of those dudes were saying all the right things, but then they didn't back it up with their actions. So I feel like Fernando, when he's saying the right things, he's also feeling the weight of responsibility, wherein he knows the guys who came before him said all the same shit and didn't come through on the other end of it. So there's a little added pressure there, him knowing he's saying the same things that have been said before, but he actually has to live up to it. And yeah, that's that.
No, I agree. I could tell he was a little, well, I shouldn't say I could tell. I felt like, you know, he was a little antsy, a little nervous. You know, had that little nervous energy. You know, he's talking pretty quickly. You know, trying to vibe. You know, I appreciated it, again, just like you said. I mean, first off, they don't have to do any of this. So shout out to Mad Max, Fernando, right? All the guys that absolutely give us what they can, right? Because that's the flip side of it. They have to be tight-lipped for a lot of reasons, in a lot of ways, right? You don't want, you know, outside knowing what's in house. So, you know, media trained, all that good stuff. You know, go ahead. I don't think Fernando has a degree yet.
Max,
did he graduate?
Yeah, I think he graduated at Cal Berkeley and all that.
But he did.
He's Max is the kind of guy that will say what's on his mind. He's gonna associate with the people he wants to, and you know, pay the consequences if they come to him. But inevitably, he's gonna do it his way. And I think Fernando, definitely being the young guy, still has to feel it all out. So he's probably a little intimidated by Max, because Max is so comfortable in his position. He's established himself and he can speak freely, whereas Fernando is definitely still trying to walk a tightrope and ensure his coaches are in alignment with what he's saying.
Yeah, think about it. He doesn't have a starting job yet. You know what I mean? Who is he to divulge anything at this point? You know, from that respect. He's definitely gonna watch his P's and Q's. I was shocked at how much love, but then again, this could be me reading between the lines, right? But I was shocked at the love he gave my guy AOC, man. Shout out to AOC. He didn't have to say that, and you know, hey, you guys should go watch and support Max's show, all that good stuff. But long story short, man, he gave Aiden O'Connell a lot of kudos, in my opinion. And if you're looking to shop somebody, those were the things you want to hear about it. So, and that was the big piece and the most important part of that, as far as what he said. And I mean, you kind of got a sense that he felt like, you know, if you had to ask him, you know, would he be better prepared or more prepared to play ahead of him? I think he might have given the political answer and said no, like, you know, hey, you know, he's the second string guy and it is what it is. I have to earn my position. But who knows, right? Is this all an act? You know, we've already heard Kubiak say he'd choose any one of these three guys. Right. Is it all in that? What do you think? Like, is there an angle here, or, you know?
Yeah, well, as you know, I liked AOC way over Jimmy Garoppolo year one, so I was comfortable starting him out of the gate as a rookie. He carries himself in a mature way. He's an older guy. Like, he's got the experience, the time on the turf type deal. Like, I don't really have any worries about him. I just don't see him as having the ultra high ceiling of like a top first round pick. He's got the solid floor though. and he's always going to be a great teammate at the very basement bottom line. He's going to be supporting the quarterback room. He's going to be pulling his weight. He's going to be a professional, and these are things that you can't really say about all quarterbacks in the league.
Right.
So, he's differentiated himself in the ways that matter to a team, and so that's valuable. And I think people are recognizing that because they want to ensure that other players are seeing that that's where the team's values are.
Absolutely. This is the one other last thing I am going to say in terms of AOC. This man has been around the world, and I think about it. He's got what, three different regimes now that he's been a part of. This is the fourth one, maybe, right? Yeah, this is the fourth regime. I mean, We're acting like AOC has been around for years. This is what, his third season, fourth season max.
You could argue even in college he had a full roster and team reset at Purdue. His final season was with a totally different style of play and team than the season prior. So he was constantly going through this churning over of the roster and having to make it work kind of deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man is on his sixth offensive coordinator. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's only been in the league 3 years. That is learning 6 different playbooks. Think about what we're saying. Like, I don't know, man. If there's anybody ready, and if there's anybody that goes somewhere and quote unquote shocks the world, kind of like another Sam Darnold, if you will, you're hearing me say it first, man. I mean, as much as I do believe it's time for him to move on, I don't think there's a way he can carve himself out a place here, especially now with Mendoza being, picked. There's no way that's going to change. It doesn't matter what AOC does. Kurt could have a freak accident and AOC come out and go 7-0. It's not going to change anything. At this point, that's just going to give him a high purse in terms of the bag he's going to collect, like a Sam Darnold did. And it's going to be the exact same scenario. And I ain't going to lie, that's going to piss me off. Like, could you imagine, man? Could you imagine us watching him go somewhere and win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's definitely not what you want to do, is develop players and then watch them go to another franchise and help them reach the promised land. That's the opposite of what you want to do. But I don't believe that's going to happen, only because I don't really have as much faith in Kirk Cousins as perhaps the media and others do. I think Kirk is going to do admirable given his mentoring role and kind of leading by example, but as far as recapturing his former glory, I just don't see that happening. So
right.
I think AOC and the Raiders are still a good fit. I think AOC would consider signing here for less than perhaps another team, even if he were a backup, because played season so long, quarterbacks are getting hurt so often. The backup quarterback is going to get their shot sooner or later, and I don't think it's a bad situation to be a backup quarterback in AOC's position. Like, yes, he wants to start games and win games, but ultimately his main goal, I believe, from my perspective, is helping his team achieve greatness, and that involves success in the playoffs and winning important games. And if he's a backup doing that, I think he'd be just as happy as a starter doing that. The same sort of it's not going to be the exact same, but you get a lot of gratification from seeing your brothers
absolutely
have shared success, and that's kind of why AOC is being recognized, is because he represents that culture.
Absolutely, and you need those guys. You need those cheerleaders on the sideline. I know that sounds wild and weird, possibly to some of you, but it's the truth, man. You need those cheerleaders. You need those guys to really feel like they're there for you, because at the end of the day, he does want to play too, just like you. So
yeah, and you need people engaged. So it's I think part of what disturbed me about last season was it felt like we were giving players all the reasons to disengage throughout the season, and it was kind of amazing that players stayed engaged given the circumstances. But yeah, testament to professionalism and guys like AOC.
Yep, I agree. I totally agree. And hey, I apologize for us starting late. I had to get baby boy to practice. Shout out to Trey. We are heading to Junior Olympics in Iowa, first week in August. So, hey, that comes first. Mama had things to get done, and she wasn't available, so I had to go drop him off. And that's why we're late, man. I'd like to say shout out to our new sponsor, Chop Hub. You know what I'm saying? ChopHub.io. Real quick here in a minute. You know, we got some stuff from them. But definitely want to just make sure that everyone knows eventually this thing will be on time. You don't blame pigs. It's all on me. Anyone with kids that are in any kind of sports, athletics, any kind of activities, band, right? These kids and everything. So yeah, sometimes we have to do our jobs, man, and make sure our kids are on the straight and narrow, and that's getting them to practice. So yeah, appreciate that. I appreciate y'all for coming through and showing up. Do not forget to hit those like buttons, right? Shout out to the like buttons, Jack Kenna, man. See you out there. Yeah, and hit that subscribe, man. Hit that subscribe. And last but not least, right, the notification button, man. That way you'll know when we come on, right? Monday nights, I'm hoping we can solidify 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I know that's much better for pigs as well. Maybe even eventually we can get to 5 my time. So we'll see how it goes, man. But yeah, real quick, I'd like to, give another quick shout out and let you guys, be entertained by a beautiful commercial from Chop Hub.
Welcome back to the Creator Olympics. Up first, the fastest editing final. Fingers at the ready. 3, 2, 1, go! They're off. Look at lane 1. Hammer those shortcuts. Lane 2 is moving like a cheetah on espresso. Lane 3, more mouse than man right now. But lane 4, he's checking his phone. We roll straight into thumbnail throwing. Oof. 9 meters for Bree, 12 for Dak.
Once again, shout out to Chop Hub. We love Chop Hub. You know what I'm saying? New sponsor. Yeah, it's a great partnership. I'm excited. Hopefully everyone else is excited, and hopefully you see a lot more of these guys, man. So yeah, let's dig into some more of these topics. Well, what's on your mind right now? What's something that's brewing inside a pig's head?
Yeah, I mean, I guess something that everyone is aware of is we still haven't signed our cornerback, Gerard McCoy. Is that true, or?
That is, that's a great question. I did not know he wasn't signed. I thought it was the kid from Buffalo that we got, but I know he definitely signed. But if McCoy didn't sign, and I bet I know why, right? Because he was a late pick, and he wants to act like probably a second rounder, right?
Yeah, well, I think probably guarantees, and that seems to be the dispute that all these rookies coming into the league are fighting over his guarantees. So
yep.
His situation is very unique, so it probably requires a lot of very fancy wording that both teams want to ensure is read over by many parties before it's signed. So I'm guessing there's a lot of due diligence on top of the dispute over guarantees.
Yep, and it makes sense. I mean, look, if there's one thing we can't as fans get mad at, is these athletes and their contract. I'm sorry. That's just something, right? It's no different than your own job and you negotiating, right, to get the best for you and your family. Sure, they're into the millions and all that good stuff, and it can be considered being greedy, right? All kinds of thoughts you can have on how these guys come to the numbers that they want, expect, and in need. But all I can tell you is at the end of the day, guys, I mean, this sport is brutal. I mean, we've all seen some people, fortunately and unfortunately, not look so well in terms of the aftermath. And you got to remember, they're done by what, 35? At best 40. What do you do after that? That is your young life.
There's so many examples of guys who even made significant amount of money in the NFL and it didn't last. So even if you secure the bag, that's not a guarantee of long-term financial security. So
Nope.
I think as a fan, you just hope that players are surrounding themselves with a good support system that is ultimately aligned with values that feed into success for the team, but also the player individually in their own personal life.
Right.
That doesn't happen all the time. There's a lot of examples of guys kind of getting mixed up with too many loans or whatever, and then it spirals out of control, and there's too many of those stories. So hopefully the vets are able to step in and help the rookies make good choices.
Yep.
Guys like McCoy, I'm sure have already spoken to a ton of vets and have all the advice in the world to make the best choice.
Yep. And real quick, I probably already shouted out pretty much everybody I'm going to shout out. But hey, it is Chat Lives Matter, right? Lily Garcia has joined the building. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show, right? We got Nav Man, Jack Kenna, my dog. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. Man, none other than the homie 805 Raider. Man, we got the heavy hitters in here today, man. 805, what's good with you, man? Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. We got John Leon in the building. Man, all the regulars, as they say, man. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. We got Jack. What is it, Jack Gustafa? See, I don't know how to pronounce that, man. 4490. We got that guy. Man, we appreciate it. And yes, Jack, thank you. Thank you. On the new, Jack is congratulating us on the new sponsor. So appreciate that, man. And hopefully, it works out for both parties. Right? You will be seeing me push chophub.io like crazy. You see the shorts, and I don't even want to begin to start discussing how helpful it is in terms of getting you guys content. You guys tell me, are you enjoying the newer shorts that you've seen in terms of thumbnails, content, all the bells and whistles, right? All those things that are very tough to do. And I think you'd get a much better appreciation for all content creators that create, clips, films, shorts, all those good things. It's not easy, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, shout out to Chop Hub, man. Shout out to Chop Hub, man. Brother Yaya's in the building. Salute. Appreciate you for coming through, man. Hope you enjoy the show. So yeah, I am wearing my Michael Myers. Yeah, I've been tough on Deuce a lot lately, and even the shorts have been pretty harsh. I'll even boo myself for that, but I can't. I just want to bring people back down to earth, man. I don't know. He's going to be an interesting watch this year for a lot of reasons. We're always going to talk about this running back room because at this point, on paper, I wouldn't say it's one of the better ones that we've had, but it's definitely nowhere near the worst. What's your thoughts on that running back room?
I mean, it's entirely unproven, including our guys from last year. So,
I agree.
It's a giant wild card. We don't know what we got. The preseason will be very telling as far as just seeing what guys look like, regardless of what the results are. Just seeing them move. We haven't seen that before from half our room, so that'll be big for us. I expect Hemby to make it. I expect Washington to make it. And obviously, Genty will be our main workhorse in this stable. But I think Genty has obviously the heart, the drive, the personality. It's just a matter of making it happen and grinding through the tough times and finding the light on the other side.
Right.
I think last season was probably a big bit disappointment for him, but I think it probably took more effort to cover and mask some of that disappointment than he was probably expecting, because the media was driving it home every week. So even though he didn't get the success on the field, there was some positive silver linings in that he grinded through what was a pretty shitty season by most fans' account.
Absolutely. And I mean,
made it through healthy.
One of the biggest things that stuck out in terms of Janty, he didn't get hurt, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he toted the rock, the 7th most in the NFL, period. In terms
it took
of
punishing hits. There were big hits in there.
And that's the thing. He's not, he's definitely not someone that has the size to run like Earl Campbell. Shout out to Earl and family, right? That's not his deal. That's not the way he operates. So it's going to be interesting to see how he continues to hold up, right? Because you'll see some of my shorts, man. I talk about this a lot, right? And that is because of the fact that it worries me. 5'8", 204 pounds is not big, ladies and gentlemen. That is not big at all in terms of the NFL. And the way he runs, it's a violent, not getting out of bounds. We see he still's got to teach himself how to get out of bounds, right? So there's, it's going to be touch and go for me, because, right, we don't know what we have. Like Pig said, nobody's proven, man. Mike Washington Jr., Hemby, none of these guys are proven. We already know what we have with Laube. I don't even know why I even continue to have that conversation outside of the fact that
he's a nice guy, Laube. It's just we got to see it on the field.
Bingo. The one thing I will give him is he's not the slowest guy in the bunch, right? And I mean, you'd probably be surprised who is. But yeah, I'll let you guys do your research and all that stuff on your own from that respect. But it's going to be interesting. And I finally got some stuff working. So shout out to James Furpo in the building. Sacktown's giving him a shout out. And then we got Yaya on the screen. So now I can finally put some things up. You got to remember, Turf always struggles streaming. So you got to give me some time. You got to give me a little bit of time to get these things in order. Okay, so let's move on to you started it out kind of with McCoy in the secondary, and that is something that's very intriguing as well, because that's probably the youngest group that we have across the board, right? Any room, if you will, right? Running backs.
Yeah, well, outside of the one Terrion Johnson, everyone is pretty young, yeah.
Bingo. So
and Chin, I guess Chin is a vet too now at this point.
Well, now, but he's actually no. I think he's more on the vet
almost
side.
30.
Yeah, he's more on the vet side than he is a newcomer, if you will. So you're absolutely right about that. But yeah, what are your thoughts, man? Who do you think you will see opposite Stokes?
Well, the part about our cornerbacks and our young guys that I like is that they're bubbling with talent, and they're all high-end talent. Gerard McCoy obviously being the most enticing of the bunch.
Yes.
As far as the ceiling, it seems like it's unlimited ceiling. It's just a scary floor right now, but that ceiling is pretty tantalizing. What I'm hopeful for is that a guy like Gerard McCoy will elevate the whole room just by his... similar to the Devontae Adams effect, his presence in the room is going to inspire other guys to elevate their game and put more time in, more effort in, knowing that he's on his time is limited, and they're going to be the most aware of it is the guys in the DB room. He doesn't necessarily have the same runway as everyone else to have a career, so every second counts, and it's going to be very apparent for our DBs that every play matters, and they're sacrificing on every play. That's going to be very apparent, I think, for our DB room versus other parts of our team. And hopefully that spreads as a culture to the rest of the rooms.
Right. I personally think that battle boils down to two people. It's Darian Porter, right? And Mr. McCoy. I'll be honest, I kind of, a part of me wants Porter to win this position. I feel like he's a guy, right? Third rounder, correct? I believe he's drafted in the third round. He's a Peter Carroll guy. I hate to say it, in terms of size, right? Athleticism and length, which is not a bad thing. It's just he clearly couldn't do what was needed in order for us to even think about competing last year.
And when we drafted him, we talked about him as a project, but he was an old guy. So that was a bit of the irony, is that we were drafting like a 25-year-old's cornerback project. Wide receiver conversion with only, I think, 1 year of solid playing experience. Most of it was special teams prior to that.
Yep, exactly right. But I'm a fan of his athleticism and ability. If he can put it all together, I think that's where we can really move forward, man. Because we need somebody that can stick around, right? You said it earlier, right? You don't want to develop your talent and have it move. We need somebody that can stick around for the long haul. And for some reason, like I say, a part of me sees Darian Porter is being somebody that sticks around for a long time. I don't know. For some reason, he just gives me the vibes of he could be a 10-year guy. And
yeah, he seems mature and professional. Like, he doesn't seem like a guy who's going to get distracted and start making something else the main thing. He's going to keep football the main thing.
Yeah,
so he's got that potential for long-term career, which we haven't had in the cornerback room.
No, we haven't had a cornerback that kept the main thing.
No, no. So this new crop of guys, like you kind of hope that the McCoy story, like, it's kind of a catch-22, his health being questionable, but yeah, I think that's going to pressure guys to realize that they got to make it happen now. Keep it the main thing. Oh, Turf, I think your audio dropped. I can't hear you. Testing. Audio. Yeah, I can't hear anything, sir. Sheesh. Technical difficulties. Alright, assume Turf is restarting his stream right now. So we'll see in a minute if he's able to jump back on. In the meantime, I will share some cool sports cards. Let's see our guy, Charles Woodson, in the silver and black. And then here's an interesting one of a guy who is unable to keep the main thing the main thing. The perfect example of all the talent in the world, but just a corrupted culture. And now we got a Hall of Famer. So many career paths people can go. Oh, Turf is back. I cannot hear you, Turf. No audio. Nothing is coming through on the audio side, but I do see video. He's a small school guy. Toledo. Bulls. And then a big school. Safeties and wide receivers. Oh, I hear something. I can.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now. Yay!
Yeah.
Turf can be heard, but you can't see Turf right now.
No.
That I'm noticing.
But it looks like an avatar, like it's your picture right now. It's frozen as you. I guess a comment on the Raiders. I like that Clint Kubiak is recognizing that Fernando Mendoza has made some big strides. That's good to hear from a head coach who's probably not going to say that about just anybody. Not going to hype them up.
Right. Nope. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. And your video, I think, is through.
Oh,
yeah, I can see it now on YouTube too.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't know why I'm frozen in terms of camera. Should be visible. Should be all the way visible.
Yeah, now it's visible with the old camera angle.
We're back. I know what it is. It's my cord. I have to get a new cord.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Cords do wear out. Yeah.
That's absolutely what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. And if I touch something and it comes out of whack, the cord goes out of whack. So I'll get that swapped out for the next show, guaranteed. But yeah, I appreciate you for. I did get to see you were showing some of the cards and
yeah,
so forth,
a little collection. I was showing some of the highs
yeah.
and lows of what it means to keep the main thing. The best example I gave for a guy who failed to do that, who had all the talent in the world.
Yes. Gee.
I think he had like a 4 touchdown game at one point. Like,
Yes.
dude was on fire.
Absolutely on fire. Yeah. You can never, man. You just never know. It's a freaking crapshoot, right? In terms of these players, just people in general, man.
Yeah, but he was a guy in particular who I followed closely because he's Canadian, so I was keeping tabs on his social media, and it was pretty apparent early on that he was much more interested in like what football could do for his brand than what he could do for his team.
Correct.
And that reflected his play on the field to a T, like the way that he would celebrate instead of get the ball to the line of scrimmage for the next play routinely,
Right.
even in crucial moments, like, and unable to make a change, like unable to adapt. Even after making the mistake, he wasn't really able to like learn from it, which I think reflects just too many distractions, like not having a good support system around you.
Yep. No, I agree 100%, man. It's it's unfortunate, man. It is unfortunate when guys have such talent and just waste it, you know?
Yeah. I remember that 4 touchdown game, watching it and thinking, like, this guy's going to open doors for the next generation of Canadian football players. Just a superstar that is going to inspire a whole generation of people. And yeah, just next season he's out of there. Like, kind of nuts.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, but that's the way it goes, man. I mean, there's a lot of things that goes on that turns into fortunate or unfortunate. And I have an example of that has nothing to do with the Raiders, if you will. But it is pertaining to football. I'll hold off on it till a little bit later in the show. But I have something to share. It's a cool piece. I don't know if anybody, right? There are guys here. I know Navman is up there in age in terms of my age. Jack Kenner as well. So shout out to the old heads in the building. Stick around because I'm going to show y'all something tonight that blew my mind. I had no idea. And like I said, it pertains to the Campbells, man. It pertains to Earl Campbell. So that just gives you an idea. You can go Google and, try to figure out what I'm going to bring up. But I mean, I'm still floored, ladies and gentlemen, because I had no idea. But with that being said, let's move on to training camp battles in offensive line. What have you heard in terms of any kind of battles on that front?
Most recent thing I heard about the offensive line was Linderbaum was voted like a top 10 inside offensive lineman in the NFL, which I guess the voters were pretty professional, unbiased voters, I would imagine.
Right.
Who knows? But in any event, like that's creating that expectation that matches the contract that we paid him. So hopefully he keeps that up into next year too, and the year after that.
Yep. Nope, I agree. He got paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sacktown, that's right. Sacktown is up there too. You'll probably remember this Sacktown. I don't know. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Again, I've already given the hint. It's about Earl Campbell. But yeah, I had no idea it went down the way it went down. Like I said, it's a pretty cool piece. I have to show you guys in a little bit. But yeah, Tyler Linderbaum, you got paid, brother. It's time to get the front in order. In all honesty, he has no excuses. He was brought over to be the centerpiece, believe it or not, my opinion. I mean, yeah, sure, Kirk Cousins, but like you said, who's really thinking about Kirk Cousins like that? We know Kirk Cousins is here to just hand over the keys, if not mid-season, let alone end of the year. Tyler Linderbaum came to be our superstar on the front line, and that is the centerpiece of your offense. That's how your offense runs. Is your center, believe it or not. They make all of the calls, right? They know where, or they should know where, where the reads are, and direct, right? They're directly in tune with both guards and tackles, left and right. So he's got to show that, man, and I don't think he'll have a problem doing so. I'm worried about what's alongside him. Personally, Jackson Powers Johnson, he was one of my all-time favorites, but at center, right? He was a favorite at center, man. I didn't really see him as anything of a guard, especially after, his performance at guard. It just didn't sit well with me. I don't. What's your thoughts on Powers, man?
I've said from the beginning that I think Jackson Powers has a center's body. The whole thing about him being not athletic enough, I think, was extremely overblown. I could concede that perhaps his maturity was not yet there to take on maybe the leadership elements of it. But that's something that just comes with time. No one is guaranteed year one to be a leader, year two to be like leading the offensive line. Like that was expected out of Colton Miller, and Colton Miller wasn't able to elevate the offensive line because a lot of that will naturally come from the middle, the center position. So I personally would have wrote it out with JPJ at center and allowed him to develop those leadership abilities and those skills. And I don't see us going into playoffs year one, year two. Like, I don't understand why we aren't developing for that year three window. And Linderbaum, like he's a bit lightweight for my tastes at center, and we just dealt with that for years on end. And so I'm a little worried, just in the sense that I've been complaining about the same thing for like 3-4 seasons in a row, and we're kind of lined up in a way where we have the high end talent, but there was a whole lot of hype train behind a guy like Andre James and Jordan Meredith and all this, and I wasn't buying any of it, and yet there was a whole lot of fucking hype from the talking heads. And I take issue specifically with Andre James, because guys like Hondo Carpenter clearly had like a personal relationship with him and covered his tracks, and like dude was not keeping the main thing. He had a child and was like AWOL during his training because he showed up basically looking like he was not an NFL football player
at all.
Pushed around, and our quarterback suffered for it. So like if our quarterback is the guy we're paying the most money and our center is directly responsible for that guy not being able to do his job, well, that guy should be lambasted, should put his head on a pike, not cover his tracks and like make excuses and like pretend it's a non-issue because he's a good guy or a Christian or has a family. Like that's pretty nasty work. It's called righteous ignorance, hypocrisy, all this stuff. What for the situation we've been in for years.
I have called out Andre James more than you could imagine. I was not a fan in any way, shape, or form. I'm glad he's gone. I think everyone sees why he's gone, right? Didn't he go to the Chargers? And
yeah, the Chargers needed a center, and he didn't. He didn't fill the role.
No, not at all. I was shocked they even did that. Didn't make any sense, man. But it is what he is. He's gone. Sticking to guards. What about Alex Kappa? They're asking, will he keep his job? I don't even know why he's still on the team from that respect. This is a Tom Brady homeboy, Raider scholarship, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about it. Like, I think he was brought in by SpyTech to try and make a good impression on JPJ to help him see the path forward and make the right choices. But honestly, I would have put JPJ in better direct competition with someone he's competing with, not a mentor. I don't see JPJ's personality adapting to that dynamic, and it definitely didn't play out as intended the first year. So I guess they're going to try it round two, but if it doesn't work again, then that's going to be a big strike against the visionaries of this team. Like,
this regime's got a lot to answer to, in my opinion. They are all on the hot seat for me, because the reality is they're all rookies. I mean, that was last year, right? And I'm talking front office, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Brady, John Spytek. These guys are rookies last year. They've never been heads of anything from that respect in terms of the front office. Yeah, assistants and so forth. And sure, Spytek might have been in the trenches a little bit more as that assistant.
Yeah, with the Pete Carroll thing.
Yeah, but
the specific thing around the O-line and Pete Carroll and SpyTech was there was so much talk about competition, the best guy's going to start, and it really felt like the O-line was like under a microscope in that context, and they were saying like JPJ has to win his job. And it all felt so insincere, so inauthentic, and so like contrived for media talking points, like just to put the message out there. Not, no one actually was believing what they were saying. It was just like, let's say it because someone's telling us this is what we have to say is like the tagline, and then we're getting paid, so we're just gonna say it. And it played out as expected. Like it seemed like there wasn't a real chemistry that was built between any of the players on the offensive line, where it just seemed haphazard and chaotic for most of it.
Man, I could not agree more. Honestly, hey, I wish we could find more things to fight about, Pigs, but
where do we most often disagree? It's probably got to come down to like Fernando then.
It is.
Their disagreements, but everything else we tend to align quite a bit.
Well, and I think everyone that is really objectively looking at this team will align accordingly. I mean, one of the biggest things you just said throughout that was the fact that we get all these quote unquote big stars or right, these names, but nothing pans out. Nothing ever gets us to the next level of feeling comfortable with a foundation. We have no foundation. We haven't had a foundation for 20 years, ladies and gentlemen. But yet we keep wishing on the star. We keep being optimistic, right? I can't do it anymore, man. I have to call it when I see it.
I'll say it. I think we had a glimpse of a foundation when we had a healthy Jason Campbell leading us to a successful start to a season until he broke his collarbone, and then it all went away.
No, I agree with that. I
felt comfortable at that moment when Jason Campbell was leading the team. Like, legitimately started to feel like, okay, this is what Raiders football is supposed to be about. This is like the future. We're moving in the right direction. And then obviously it didn't play out as we were hoping it would. But
it did not.
Inevitably, those feelings, like as you're saying, the sense of like pride, confidence in one's team. Confidence really is comfort. So yeah, we need that back in the building ASAP.
Big time. And this is why, again, I'm not so optimistic. I think we still have major holes in our offensive line, our defensive line. I mean, it starts in the trenches, ladies and gentlemen. And we still don't know what we have with the picks that we've picked, right? I mean, Spytek, this has been 2 years for him, right? As far as his draft. How are these guys going to pan out? I don't see anybody just yet. I mean, DJ Glaze, he's looking to be, I guess, the starter as far as right tackle. But do you have a whole lot of confidence in him? And we all know how I feel about Colton Miller. He'll make it maybe game 8 if we're lucky. Like we're back to square one again with one of these other guys that haven't looked well. We do have a guard, and I can't believe I haven't said, and that's Spencer Buford, right? I don't know if you heard me tell the story. But yeah, at regionals, his mom was the one collecting the money. And yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, that's random.
Yeah, it was so awesome. I took pictures with her. We had a great conversation. She was wearing the number 70 earrings. I have to pull that up, man, and pick it out. But yeah, it was a good conversation. I made sure she understood too. And I hope the front office hears this, because this is part of our problem. This is why we don't get the right superstars. It's because you're not treating these people right while they're on the team. Treat these guys like you treat the guys that retire, right? The alumni. And I'm telling you, that immediately will change things overnight in terms of that locker room. How many more times do we have to hear about somebody's wife crying about getting kicked out of the crew, right? Playing these games that the front office will allow to be played, and the superstars being uneasy about it. You know what I mean? You got Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, both their wives boo-hooing, crying in the whole nine. I mean, and those are the ones we hear about, right? Think about the ones we don't hear about.
So, Turf, you haven't really referenced specific details, but I'm guessing you're inferring that the Raiders organization could have done more to ensure that the culture surrounding the team was more stabilized and less turbulent, and stepping on people's.
No, so check it out. I don't know if people understood when Carl was going through all that mess with McDaniels, they started messing with his wife. Like, so these are the things
like
that
McDaniel's underlings, or who specifically?
The group. So this is how it works, and this is the thing that people don't really. It's like a family, man. It's a little family, and they all do things together, right? You're part of a crew. Right? And there are certain pockets. Yeah, the wives. We're talking about the wives.
Yeah, the social fabric that's extended beyond the 54 guys on the team. All the social pieces.
They get invited to things, right? They're a part of things. They help in the community. And, once that car thing started going south, she stopped getting invited to the cookout.
Oh, shit. Okay, well.
People didn't know that, and that's why she was crying behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I can understand how this starts to trickle down into the team itself, but it's very difficult for these types of the Raiders are becoming basically like a private equity owned team, like as Mark Davis is having it go that way.
He is.
But these things do not go together, like community and private equity. Like, as much as they'll try and make it seem like this is the best thing ever, this is kind of like a very high risk environment, and it's
Right.
being portrayed as low risk, and it's just kind of funny because these are the kind of outcomes you end up with. Is like, yes, it was owned by Mark Davis at that time, but obviously there was people trying to buy the team at that time, and like, I personally am starting to believe that so much of the Raiders' issues over the past couple of decades is because they haven't really been running a football team. They've been running like a media team.
Yeah.
And they're bringing in guys for like entertainment and shit like this. And like, I love Carr, but I also believe like Carr should not have been re-signed. Like, we overpaid him, and like a big part of the reason we were such a bad team is because we spent so much money on surrounding Carr with guys that would make him look good as opposed to make us a good team. And like, he owns some responsibility for that, because he basically like was able to buff his own stats at the expense of team success. So,
I
like,
agree.
He owns that.
And in return, I think that's why they messed with his wife.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, and only we won't know, right? And I don't expect anybody to get that information. That is between Derek Carr and
perhaps
you know.
the best way to frame that situation is that when you start doing that kind of thing where you're like selling out the team for an individual player's glorification because it makes your franchise look good, that creates really weird power dynamics that become very unstable and leads to bad outcomes. Like, it's subversive to culture. And so when you end up with a result like that, it's kind of like it was written in the tea leaves when you look back like 5 years prior, like what was happening then. It was kind of leading that trajectory, that outcome. And just because it's quite related and was brushed under the rug by our organization and probably ought not to have been, was how they handled the Chandler Jones situation around.
Bingo.
That was
There's so many.
Arguably even worse.
There are so many things that the front office has mishandled, and that's the part that I'm referring to, which is why it's like these people have to look themselves in the mirror and ask, are they the problem? Because that's the only thing throughout these last, 4 regimes that hasn't changed. It's the front office.
I would argue a lot of the media too. Like,
yes.
The Hondo Carpenters of the world, who have been like the right-hand guy of each regime in some media.
Hondo is tough.
Media role.
I don't
mind Hondo, but I really don't think that it's a good thing for our fan base to have somebody who is so drinking his own Kool-Aid, be the guy who's telling all the fans how they should conduct themselves. Like,
correct.
He's kind of become the arbiter of ethics and morality, and I think in some ways he's become his own worst fear. Like, he's become the evil thing that he's so fearful of. Like, it's hard to put words to, but this is something that happens in history all the time. It's like a guy in history thinks he's the hero, and then he becomes the villain. That's kind of how I view Hondo Carpenter.
I agree. He thinks he's more than what he is and should be. I know exactly what you're saying. Like, he tries to act like he's the guy that knows, right? All the other commentators, right there, it's hearsay, but he's the one that's in the middle.
That's a power move, is creating that framing where he's different than everyone else. Like, everyone else is saying the fans are stupid, not Hondo Carpenter. That guy believes in the fans. It's just, it's a load of malarkey. It's no one believes it. No one should believe it. And like, Hondo gets paid by a very suspicious company and does everything in his power to make it seem like his job is about anything but the suspicious company that he's affiliated with. So until he addresses the reality of that, like, I wouldn't take any of his moralizing or faith mongering or any of that with any seriousness. Like, you have to uphold your own values before you go around like barking them at other people, and I don't see he's done that.
Jesus, now my camera's going out. Turf is having problems everywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
Got
One
the color
second.
bars.
Let me get my camera up. Let me get a new camera up. There we go. I'm back. So with that being said, shout out to Dorothy, man. Dorothy says, hello, everyone. Hello, Miss Dorothy. Appreciate you for coming through. We hope you enjoy the show, man. We got ALEKM 5377 in the building. My man says, Raiders will overcome the doubters soon. right? And Raiders are looking up, right? But he also says Chandler's situation was difficult, but he wasn't listening to any advice really either. I mean, he was clearly off the case.
Humans are complicated, and Chandler's a human. His brothers are very complicated as well. Like, we knew exactly what we were getting into when we brought him here. Like, McDaniels, more than anyone, knew exactly what we were getting when we brought him here. The main issue that I had with Chandler Jones is that, for better or worse, I believe that steroids has been a big part of our culture, and especially our recent culture. And like Chandler, I think, was a beneficiary of that phenomenon, much like many, many athletes in our society. And I believe that once the rules changed and he had to disengage from steroids, there's a withdrawal, like with most drugs. There's serious withdrawal, and it's just so coincidental that his brother was going through a lot of similar kind of manic episodes at the same time, and perhaps using the same fucking drugs. Like, it's insane to me that the media won't talk about this, because it's kind of an elephant in the room. Like, these guys are the best in the sport, and they're both going through withdrawal, and like, all the success, all the withdrawal, these are the same thing. Like, they're connected. Like,
they won't ever do it.
It's collaboration. Media and the underbelly of sports, they collaborate to ensure that sports is framed a certain way to appeal to markets.
Right.
And, humans are complicated, and guys like Chandler Jones, like, really required having an incredible supports team around him and acknowledging reality. Like, if he's going through withdrawal, like, he shouldn't have been with the team. He should have been at a retreat, like a professional center, like going through it with people who are totally focused and dedicated to that goal. Not trying to pump his stats at the end of his career on our dollar. Like, that was not the good situation for us as a team.
So I do know Pigs is not feeling well. We've already been over an hour. So we're going to cut this a little short, but I have to get into this conversation. This one has nothing to do with football, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, first, I did say I would show you guys something. I did say I'd show you guys something, right? So, hold on. Even though I don't have to put this up because this is my guy, you know what I mean? But yeah, for you guys that don't know, if you guys don't know, my son is part of a 4x4 team that's third, fourth in the nation for 13, 14-year-olds. And it just so happens that one of his partners is Earl Campbell's grandson. Shout out to Malachi. I mean, you can only imagine what you're gonna see out of this kid. It's already special. Every which way till Sunday. But yeah, this story here, I'm just gonna let it play. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let it play, and I want you guys to see this because I didn't know about this, man. I did not know anything about this, and I'm curious to see if anyone else knew this. And keep it real. Don't lie about it. But let me know if this rings a bell.
Evolution of the black quarterback.
Evolution is where we were and where we still have to go.
What happens is Doug Williams in 1978 is that quarterback that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to draft. But they're not ready to draft a black quarterback #1 overall because of the explanation, because of the time.
Didn't want African Americans having that type of power.
So they traded the pick down. And the Houston Oilers got the #1 overall pick that year. And they drafted Earl Campbell, my father. If it weren't for black quarterbacks, if it weren't for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Doug Williams, the Houston Oilers wouldn't have Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell could have went to Tampa. Who knows how that would have turned out? He could have went somewhere else. Who knows how that would have turned out? Would he have become the NFL guy he became? Who knows? Had it not been for black quarterbacks and what was going on in the NFL at that time, Earl Campbell wouldn't have ended up with the Houston Oilers, which directly affects me and my family. So then I tied in, you can't live until you give. So without the evolution of the black quarterbacks giving game to one another, and then getting into a situation where a black quarterback was getting ready to get drafted in the first round, I'm thankful for them. Because without them, Earl Campbell don't get to the Houston Oilers. Evolution.
Man, did anybody know that? I had no clue. I knew that the trade happened, but I didn't know why the trade happened. Right? I was way too young for that. You know what I mean? In terms of looking at the NFL for the political side of things, and even knowing what the draft was. We're talking, I was in 78. I was 3 years old. I didn't know nothing, period. Even, and that's why I say for the older guys, because even the older guys, even at 63, there's no guarantee that you would remember this. You too are a youngin'. Not even a teenager probably. And I did not know that, because we all know all it takes is going from one team to another, a good to a bad. And then, right, your talents and how they fit. I mean, we got Earl Campbell because of that. And I never knew that. Did you know anything about that, Pigs?
Obviously that's way before my time. I was born in 89, and my upbringing, I followed the CFL more than the NFL. That was the 90s. I had seasons tickets to the Toronto Argos, but I obviously enjoyed Campbell's career kind of in hindsight, like looking back at it through tapes and VHSs. And,
right.
There's so many great running backs, but he does stand out as a guy who was able to add a lot to the position and influence future generations of running backs, which, regardless of what position you're playing, certain athletes will rise above and kind of just show that despite maybe not being the fastest, maybe not being the strongest, the smartest, the guy with all the advantages, you're still able to pursue your dream and ultimately realize it by sticking with it and not allowing adversity or something to get in the way of achieving that. And trailblazers, guys that come before you are part of that story. So you kind of I guess in a sense, frame your journey as you're not going on it alone. You have a whole crew with you, and if you choose to have Earl Campbell on your crew as you go on your football journey, that's pretty powerful. So find good role models, good trailblazers, and stand on their shoulders and take the game further.
Yes.
He was one of those dudes.
And you are right, LKM. Earl Campbell was a tough running back. Arguably the tough. I mean, between him and Jim Brown, I really don't know if there's anybody else you would. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some guys, but I don't know. Those are the two people that come to mind if I'm talking about, who literally just ran people over for breakfast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's not many guys that did that, right? The Jerome Bettises, et cetera, right? We got a few.
The Adrian Pierce and the Walter Payton. There's guys that struck fear into the defense, but few and far between.
Absolutely. But before we get out of here,
I want to give a shout out because we were on the topic of quarterbacks that because it is the focal point of the whole sport. Quarterback is kind of like the face of the franchise, the face of the league, really.
Yep.
Guys that kind of trailblaze and inspire the next generation, that kind of conversation. A guy who I think is massively underrated just because he didn't make it to the NFL is your guy's brother, Allen, Damon Allen.
Yeah.
He is arguably the most successful black quarterback in football history. He has the most passing yards. He has championships, MVPs, multiple teams, four different teams. So I saw him play. I saw him win a championship in old age. That's the crazy part about his career is he started playing in the early 80s, and I was watching him in the mid 2000s win a championship. So,
right.
That dude was kind of unreal, and I don't really see him getting the same accolades, the same respect as he ought to. And I think part of it is that he went to so many different teams. Like being a journeyman, you don't stick with one team and build your legend with that one team. You don't get the same that team carrying your brand forward into the future, like we do with our legends. Like
right.
And it just the CFL just doesn't have the same kind of money and finances to afford players the respect that they probably deserve. But yeah, shout out Damon Allen.
Yeah, shout out to Damon Allen. Sure. So yeah, like I said, I know you are under the weather, if you will, but we have to discuss this. I don't know how excited or boring it'll be for you, and I want you to honestly be as open or as closed, because it could be personal, right? It could be, hey, I don't want to put myself out here in the world, or right? But
okay.
The funny thing is, FIFA.
Oh yeah, right on.
Yep, FIFA has brought to the United States, and dude, I am getting a kick out of watching these YouTube channels with people from all over the world that thought they knew America, and now how they feel about it, including Canadians.
Wow.
Even Canadians that hadn't come to the States, right? They, some of them that, had the perception of the media and just assumed, right, what they hear on TV. So, it's dangerous, right? All these things, even some Canadians that came across the border for FIFA realized that, bottom line, they were just lied to.
Wow.
So I'm curious. Yeah, so that's why I say I'm curious to hear Canadian.
I have been following FIFA. I've watched probably like 5 or 6 games. A lot of beer has been consumed in bars watching these events go down.
Yes.
It's been very expensive time, but also very enjoyable. I wouldn't say soccer is my passion as far as sports, but I've always enjoyed the fan experience of soccer.
Right.
I had the opportunity to go to a bunch of games in Toronto back in the day for the Toronto Football Club, and so that's where some of the games were being played in for this FIFA tournament was in Toronto at the same field. And the teams that I was following, Scotland, England, Norway, those were kind of the teams that I was interested in, but obviously the teams that have kind of struck the biggest chords right now are like Spain and Argentina, France. But I guess at this point I'm kind of rooting for France.
Right.
And I guess, I don't feel strongly about France. I hope that it's entertaining.
Right.
And makes the good return on investment with the beer that I'll inevitably consume for that game.
Right. So I'm also talking about it from the perspective of, right, you're from Canada. Canada is different than the United States. It just is, right? Healthcare, right? Just the way the country is run. It's very different. And I don't know if you've seen a lot of these YouTube skits of people that are talking about what they thought about America and, just how shocked they were about everything. I mean, air conditioning was a huge one, which I just crack up on. And to give a caveat, Turf is headed to Poland on Friday. I'll be in Poland for the week for work, man. And I am excited. I can't wait to go. I have not been in the UK or that area just in general across the board. It will be my first time. But to watch these people, see the way America is and just things like refills on on drinks that are free. Getting an actual glass of water with ice is free. Like, these are things that they do not get.
No, Europe's a whole different world.
It is completely different. And watching these people cry, they're like, I don't want to go back home. Like, that's, did you see any of those videos? Like, what's your thoughts on, America versus Canada, if you will? And I'm sure you've heard people that love it and hate it and vice versa.
I mean, I guess my perspective on America is kind of
Now you see why I
by
say I don't want you to,
family's
be
relationship.
open about it or not, because
Yeah, it's always like context is always going to be the answer for this type of question. But like my great grandfather's on the American $50 bill, so it's very much like I feel like I'm more American than Canadian in some ways. But then at the same time, I also have a lot of family members who have left a mark in Canada just the same. So it's odd. By the way, that president was despised in the preceding generations afterwards, which is hilarious because today now he's loved again. So it just goes to show that perceptions change, but inevitably history happens, and then our opinions on it do this, like
back and forth, flip flop.
Yeah, and like the media obviously plays a big role in that. Our educational system plays a big role in that. It should be our communities that play a big role in that, but inevitably it's the institutions that are pulling the strings, calling the shots on why perceptions are the way they are. Like, Ulysses S. Grant, that was the president.
Yes.
There was a pretty big media campaign to like tarnish his reputation after his death in the 1800s. So for about 100 years, he was considered one of the worst presidents of all time. But if you do serious research into it, you realize that a lot of newspapers were just very biased and had agendas, and there was a lot of political reasons for that type of framing of that American, but inevitably he's one of the better presidents. So it's just hugely ironic. Like today, for instance, like with the media campaign around Trump, like you might assume he's not just the greatest president of all time, but maybe the greatest human of all time. Like it's just it's a weird world we live in where media is so responsible for human perception, and so
it is
until you actually get boots on the ground and experience life for yourself. Like
bingo,
living in a snow globe. Like,
right, and that's Disneyland. The thing. I'll admit it. I've always said I could see myself living somewhere, and I actually dream of it. But does that mean living somewhere 100% of the time for a long period of time? Absolutely not. No. I've been to South America. I've been to places, right? I adore and love a lot of places. Yes, I would spend half the year there. Would I spend a year there? Absolutely. But for an extended period of time, it's not possible. Even if I didn't have kids, I could see myself saying, yeah, it's time to come back home. And watching these videos from the Brits, just the things that we take for granted. I mean, just even the beauty of America, right? All of the places you can go, the things you can see, the mountains. And I mean, it sounds corny to us Americans, right? That's been here and done these things, but you go to other places, man, they don't have all of that. You know what I mean? They really don't. Like it was eye-opening for me. Because honestly, like you said, when it comes to the media, I didn't realize it had that much of a hold on people. And that's just me being naive, dumb, and in my own world, right? Turf, I tend to stay in my own world a lot. So I stay in my bubble, man. But picking my head up and looking at the rest of the world, right? And them, feeling like they've had the wool pulled over their eyes and now they're finally getting to see. I just found that hilarious, man. I mean, in a good way, and I felt, bad for some of the people as well.
When the rubber hits the road, that's when you find out what reality is. And to parallel to the Raiders organization and our recent experience as fans, like that's been the quarterback the last 4 or 5 years. Is like we get sold this grand kind of magnus opum of this is the greatest plan ever, and we've got the guy, and here he is, and we're paying him all this money, and then it's like he doesn't look better than the rookie. Oh, he doesn't look better than the backup. What the fuck are we doing? Like, why is he starting? And then it's like we're being told to shut up and like you don't know football, like this kind of stuff. And then suddenly at the end of the season, you're scratching your head like,
what was that?
Like, was I an idiot for thinking this, or like
right?
I don't know. Like, I want to say this because I think it really sums up well the media's role in all this. Obviously JT the Brick.
Yes.
The long-term radio personality for the
Absolutely.
a legendary guy, whether you love him or hate him. He's certainly contributed to the fabric of Raiders Nation.
Yeah, shout out to JT, man. Yeah, I've had conversations with him. I've talked to him quite
very
a few
influential
times.
in Raiders Nation. He definitely likes to speak his mind, but he doesn't like the consequences of being responsible for what he says.
What he said.
It happens all the time with him. But one thing he said that I felt was like the most struck a chord of like reality chord. He was complaining about a Chicago Bears game that he watched, wherein he claimed, from his opinion, that fans should get a refund on bad product games. And he said it in the most like bold, boisterous, kind of like bombastic way on Twitter.
Yeah.
And people just reamed him for it because meanwhile the Raiders had just had the most dog shit season with Gardner Minshew. And talk about bad football. Like, we're watching a guy turn the ball over pick six. Like, it almost looks like he's doing it on purpose. Like to
get me
tank
started
or
on
some shit.
Minshew.
And so the replies that people gave to JT was like, well, does this apply to the Raiders games that we're all paying for? And then he started just blocking people en masse in response to his own position. So it's kind of like the ultimate schizophrenic kind of situation where you have a media member who's very responsible for the hype trains every year.
Yes.
And selling fans on a story and narrative. Acknowledging that there should be consequences for bad products, such as refunds to fans on a game that perhaps is like broken by gambling or broken by a player doing something ridiculous or a ref making a terrible call. Like, players should get some percentage of their ticket refunded.
Right. Speaking of a refund, how about that UFC fight, Conor McGregor?
Oh shit! Yeah, I mean, yeah, that blew up in their face.
Pun intended.
All that hype. Yeah, they're just the ligaments. But yeah, the media at some point has to accept the fact that they're part of why things are not having the good outcomes and kind of ending up in the bad outcomes. And then, like, it's just ironic when the media acknowledges their role in it and kind of presents a solution, but then at the same time is getting upset with people when they point out the irony in that solution. Like, if people truly got refunds for bad product, there'd be a hell of a lot less bad product out there. That's all I gotta say.
I agree.
JT's idea is like spot on.
Right.
Just he probably regrets saying it because of the irony involved in it.
Exactly. I agree. And we'll end with Brother Yaya's quote because I think it's a really good one. I've been living in 3 different countries with very different cultures. I'm not the same man anymore. That's dope. And I can totally understand that. There's been plenty of places I've wanted to stay, right? And learn more about cultures. Just learn more about those places in general. But I mean, I'm not an idiot too. I'm not saying anyone that feels like they can go live at these places long term, more power to you. I'm talking in terms of me in the context of how I would view these things. And the perfect example I can give is when I went to Australia. I don't know if people realize, like, there's nothing. The only thing you're gonna see that reminds you of the United States of America, in my opinion, in Brisbane, is there's one like fast food hamburger spot that looks like Burger King, but it's not Burger King. That's it.
It's just knockoff Burger King.
That's it. You're looking for football. You're talking rugby. You're looking like nothing. There's nothing about America, right? And then that's the other thing. Like, it's nighttime in America when it's daytime, vice versa.
Yeah.
I actually got homesick for the first time. As an old ass man. It was like, what am I feeling? And then that's when I realized that, this is a lot.
That sounds like culture shock to a T, that type of experience of
it's a lot.
Like you're missing a part of yourself by the environment being so different.
All of the culture that you're used to, basketball, right? Any sports, you can just forget about it, right? Like, it's just drastically different. Would I go back? Of course. I love, it was a great time. It's just,
We kind of touched on this topic in shows past, but you had brought up Peru in previous conversations as a place.
Shout out to my brothers and sisters in Lima, Peru, bro.
Some cultural alignment there.
That's somewhere I could live, ladies and gentlemen. And in fact, the wife and I talked about that several times, at least 6 months a year. It's close, right? It's a 6-hour flight. And
you mentioned many times the culinary angle too, that Peru stands out and above as having a superior value when it comes to the food.
The food. You got to remember, places like this, they're probably killing it that night. Yeah, everything's fresh. There's no preservatives. They don't do that stuff.
No, it's super clean.
It's all clean. It's a place I could live. That's a place I could probably live way longer than I would expect and not get homesick. But they do have all my vices, right? Let's be real. For one, I have a whole complete family. Shout out to all of my people in Lima. I mean, too many to name. Seriously, way too many to name. But they have all my vices, right? Poker, jiu-jitsu is very heavy out there. All of it, right? It's still...
I like how you're framing jiu-jitsu as a vice.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean.
It's very much in alignment with your lifestyle, so you can see the compatibility there of living more long-term than other places.
Exactly. And the other thing, I'll be honest, what makes it way much easier is the family that I have out there, right?
Yeah.
I literally have brothers out there that, I mean, man, they've been here, right? As well. And yeah, I've never felt more like home anywhere else outside of the U.S. And again, I've been a lot of places, man, but Lima, Peru is definitely one that I'd live.
Maybe Peru needs a Raiders outpost for fans to make a pilgrimage to.
Right.
Way up there in Machu Picchu, some Raiders flags.
Exactly. All right, man. Well, hey, you go get some rest, bro. I really appreciate you. Just to let y'all know, man, Big stuck it out for us tonight, bro. I was late. We were gonna get this thing done early, and I really do appreciate you for not letting me do this alone, bro.
Yeah, just for quick context, I've been on a binge of pickleball the past few weeks, where I've been staying up to like 10, 11, 12, getting in hours of pickleball, way more than I should be playing. And my knees, my hip, my back, it's all on the fritz right now.
Dude, I have to try. It's one of the reasons why I haven't tried it yet, because believe it or not, I love tennis. I learned how to play tennis as a kid.
There's some transferable skills there.
Exactly.
You'll pick up pickleball real fast.
And that's why I
can see what you said. You might get overly competitive way too fast.
Bingo.
You'll get out over your skis, is what they say. Like Then the nice part about pickleball is topspin is like king. So if in tennis you're able to do topspin really well, then
that's
you're gonna
me.
have a huge advantage in pickleball.
I don't have a great backhand, but my front forward topspin is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, like the turnover is wild for me.
Yeah, that's some nice advantage in pickleball. If you can naturally get that topspin on a drive, something with power, it allows you to put way more power on the shot whilst keeping the ball in play.
Yeah.
It's a wiffle ball with holes in it, so you're easily able to put shape on the shot because the ball shapes way more than a tennis ball. So you can get shots that do this kind of deal, like curve right around the pole. Like you hit the shot and it can go right around the pole back into play. Like some crazy creativity in that realm. And the part that stands out to me right away as a new player is how mixed the demographics are. You get young people and old people having competitive matches. I saw two young football player guys, young 20-year-old dudes, both big, kind of meaty boys, maybe 6'3", 200 pounds.
Yeah.
They were taking on, I won't call them elderly, but a guy in his late 50s and a woman around 50. And it was competitive right down to the last point.
Really?
The last point. And the football dudes were trying 100% and celebrating and flexing all their points in their opponents' faces. And their opponents were Yeah, it was like a Korean woman and a Chinese guy, and it was just the funniest match ever. Like seeing it play out and how it was right down to the wire, the last point. Like,
yeah.
Man,
I already know. I have the addictive personality, ladies and gentlemen. Once if I pick up pickleball, it's over. You forget content creation unless it deals with pickleball, because, as you know, I am as competitive as they come. There's a reason I have not touched it. There's actually a brand new facility. I mean, everyone raves about it.
I would put money on it, Turf, that you would love pickleball.
Oh yeah, 100%. I already know. It'd be my new thing. It'd be my new. I'd be doing exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, grinding out
10, 11, 12, playing tournaments, flying all over the place. I got a pickleball tournament, like 100%.
It's a fun time. It's a lot slower than tennis, so that's kind of the nice part. Tennis, it feels like it's not like for demographics, like a young person and an old person playing tennis is not so fair.
Right.
Pickleball, it's more than fair. You can hold your own, like as a take on a young teenager and still
dope, man.
Whoop their ass with technique and all this.
I'm trying my hardest to stay away. I have a feeling it's not gonna happen to me.
You're watching some YouTube clips randomly.
It's not only that, so it's my poker buddies, man. Shout out to the Lodge getting free advertisement from Turf and Pig Show. But I got a lot of my peoples from the Lodge, man, which is a huge poker house here in Austin, Texas, and they have. I mean, it's a group of them, and they are always talking pickleball. I hate it because I know. I already know it's my life is over. I
have to rock the silver and black out on the pickleball.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be wild, man.
Celebrate in someone's face. An elderly woman.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming to a theater near you soon. I already know it's gonna happen, man. And now, what you telling me, you're addicted to it. It's
fun. It's fun. I've been researching getting a paddle, so I'm getting close to putting the financial investment into it.
Yeah,
means I'm committed at that point.
100%.
We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know how that goes.
That is awesome, man. Well, shout out to Pigs, Pickleball, and everybody else that came through tonight, man. We appreciate you. I'll be on tomorrow night. I say that and then don't, right? But I'm going to try to be on for sure tomorrow night. I'll have something hopefully structured for you guys that'll make sense, man. But yeah, appreciate you, brother, man. And till next Monday, hopefully Pigs will be recovered. You know what I mean? And we'll get rocking, man. We'll get rocking. My guy showed up. What's up, Floco? Appreciate you for coming through, my dude. As always, you got to watch the rerun. Well, till next week, man. We are out. Peace.